According to the EPA, which is an environmental health and human research center agency that's part of the United States federal government, in 2014 alone, here in the United States, over 258 million tons of MSW were generated. Out of those 258, 89 million were put into recycling and reused, which gives us a recycling rate, according to the EPA, of 34.6%, which is pretty good, but where's the other almost 70% of reusable or recyclables going to? This is all going to landfills, other places like that, and it's just being decomposited under the soil pretty much. But based on my questionnaire, all of the people that answered my questionnaire said that recycling to them is good. They had an overall good opinion about it. They also said that they would like to see recycle bins at every facility, every store in the near future if we can get to that. But out of all the people that said that, only 40% actually recycle more than 12 times a month. This is starting to become a big problem and a big issue in our generation, because the more we see in the news about global warming, about all this other stuff, we also have decisions. When you see a recycle bin and you see just a normal trash can, you have a decision either to put your recyclable into the trash can or into the recycle bin, depending on what you want to choose. It'll make a difference for future generations to come. So you have a voice in that. I also use credible resources, personal experiences to my content. Also credits to me, because ever since I was 5, I was showed that recycling does help out. We had trash cans in our recycle bins in our house, all that stuff that helped me realize that recycling does help out, not just us, but the world itself. Other sources that I use, the EPA, for example, it's a government organization that helps regulate the human and environmental health issues. Also, I use some environmentalists. They looked at their websites, did a bunch of research regarding that as well, to see what I can find on recycling. But organizations here, especially locally, like for example Western Recycling, you can recycle just about anything. You can recycle cars, you can recycle cans, you can recycle cardboard boxes, all of the above, electronics, whatever you need. For today, after you're done listening to my speech, I want you to leave thinking that you can do your part in recycling, and it can benefit not only yourself, but it can also benefit people around you, as well as organizations that recycle. First, you should leave knowing what effects landfills have on us, what negative effects they have on us. And secondly, you should leave knowing that recycling, the effects that it has, what it can do to not only us, but also to the world. First, I'm going to talk to you about the effects the world will have if we don't recycle. And not reducing waste does have a big effect on Earth. Excessive waste is becoming a huge problem, as we all very well know. And lots of recyclable products are being just tossed away into landfills. According to Rick LeBlanc, he manages a bunch of retail industry recyclable materials, and they sort all of the recyclable materials, and he's been doing that for the past 20 years. Every minute, every day, at least 120,000 aluminum cans are recycled only in America. But at the same time, and every 3-month period, enough aluminum cans can be thrown away in America that they can rebuild the entire American commercial fleet. Aluminum cans take approximately from 80 to 200 years to decompose in the soil. So that's just one negative. Also, other not only cans, but other things are being put in the ground as well that help. So there's more landfills and stuff like that. Landfills are used to dispose of waste, but it can take years, like I said before, to decompose. Landfills affect everyone around the world because as different countries try to go greener, we see the side effects of this as well. Like for example in the UK, where according to the Green Choice website of EC Llamas, the UK, much of it is buried in landfills, holes in the ground, sometimes old quarries, and this does have effect on people. Some of the waste will eventually decompose, but then there's some that stays in the soil and it may smell like methane, and it generates methane gases, which are explosive and contribute to the greenhouse effect. If these landfills keep increasing, and this will affect your food as well, because as the world gets bigger, we must feed more people, and we're not going to have enough land for that as well. Not only that, the greenhouse gases that are emitted, they also affect us, because the more people eat, the more food is being, agriculture stuff like that is being done, the more rain will start coming in and ruin crops because of that, or depending on what climate change has happened. Now I'm going to transition from the negatives to the positives of negatives of landfills to the positives of recycling. And this is per the United States Health and Human Services Department. By reducing the amount of trash produced and reusing existing materials, we can make differences by protecting the environment, conserving natural resources, and sustaining the planet for future generations. This is really good. Not only that, but recycling also creates millions of jobs. The National Recycling Coalition reports that recycling created 1.1 million jobs last year. That's equivalent to $236 billion in gross annual sales and $37 billion in annual payroll. So the recycling is helping not just the world, but it's also helping us economically. This is where organizations like Western Recycling come into play, as you can go ahead and donate any recyclables, take in, and they can recycle all of these products for you. But now that you understand the negatives, and you understand of the negatives of landfills and the positives of recycling, here's why it's important, and this is what we can do about it. As you all know, today I tried to persuade you on needing to recycle more often. First, I talked about what effects the landfills and not reducing waste will have on Earth and people living in it. Secondly, I talked about the effects recycling is and what a difference it can make not only to us but to our world. You should leave here acknowledging that any donations made to facilities like Western Recycling will proceed to a greener Earth. Now that I got you thinking about the wonders recycling does to Earth, take these following steps to get to the nearest Western Recycling Center and recycle now. Western Recycling is located in the city of Idaho Falls. It's the one that's located here. And they're actually open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they close on Saturday they're open from 8:30 to 2 p.m., but they do close on Sunday. You can go here. It's located in downtown Idaho Falls. It's 1020 Denver Street, and it's in Idaho Falls, Idaho. The zip code is 83201. So there you are.